Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I want to address the question that I get asked a lot. Many of you ask me this question: can diet help cure RA? So the word cure is a really strong word. And it can have like a yes or no answer. But this topic, I think, is a little bit more complicated than just giving a yes or no answer. So I'm going to just quickly go over some things that will help you understand how diet can help you with your RA symptoms and the course of your disease, right? So the number one thing or the number one question that people have along with this question, that can diet help them, is which diet is better? Is vegan better, or should I go on this juice diet? Should I fast? Should I do intermittent fasting? Should I do paleo? Should I do Whole30? Should I just do a cleanse? So all kinds of questions. No simple answer. But here's my take on it, right? So when you find people on the internet, influencers in social media, telling you that a particular diet is good for RA, that, say, for example, they're talking about a vegan diet or about a juice diet that actually help them overcome their RA symptoms, etc. I don't doubt the results of that particular person, because that's how I am. I just want to give the benefit of the doubt to whoever is saying, just trust whatever they are saying. However, the problem I have is with the part that they expect that results to work across the board for everybody, and that's where they get it wrong, because what works for one person may not work for the other person. And that is why there is all this confusion. You have influencers saying different things, some saying that this particular program that they created with the juice cleansing and whatnot is the best. Some people saying that vegan is the best, that's the way to go. However, that may work for, say, for example, a vegan diet may help for somebody depending upon where they're coming from. So that's also another part of the equation. If they had been eating like a really, sad diet, right? The standard American diet, which is very unhealthy. For example, eating a lot of processed meats, eating a lot of processed packaged foods, a lot of sugars, etc. And then they go and do a vegan diet. Well, hell, you are going to see a lot of improvement in your health overall, including your RA symptoms, because you just went from a highly inflammatory diet to something that is less inflammatory. So that will definitely help, right? For people who do a Whole30 also, for some people it helps because it's Whole30 is just about eating real foods, right? However, in my experience, right, for people with an autoimmune condition, with RA, for example, their gut health is really compromised. They have a leaky gut. So if you've watched my other videos on, what causes autoimmune disease, etc., you will see, you learn about, how gut health is so important and why leaky gut is like the cause of autoimmune disease and RA. So, it's clear that people who have developed RA have a leaky gut. And so the first important thing when we talk about diet is that the person's diet needs to change so that their gut health can improve, right? So the simplest things that they can do is cut out the processed foods, etc. That's like the bare minimum they can do, right? But for them to really have improvements in their RA symptoms, whether their morning stiffness is reduced or not, whether they're able to get out of bed, whether they are able to, whether their intensity of pain goes down, whether the pain flare-ups itself, the frequency of the flare-ups go down, etc. All those things ultimately can depend on how bad your gut health is and how leaky your gut is and how many food sensitivities you have. So, if somebody is doing vegan but eating gluten still, eating wheat products, if they have a lot of gluten sensitivity, then that vegan diet is not going to work for them. But somebody, on the other hand, if they, have a lot of dairy sensitivity and they go vegan, that means they will avoid all dairy products too. They are definitely going to see a lot of improvement, just by going vegan because they're cutting out dairy completely, right? So that is the reason you see all these differences in results, because everybody's situation in terms of the gut health is different. Their food sensitivities are different. For me personally, just doing vegan didn't help because I was, although I had cut out gluten also along with doing vegan, I was doing gluten-free vegan. However, I was, eating oats and eating rice and eating nuts, and all these things were very inflammatory to for my body. Those were the food sensitivities that I had. I had sensitivities to grain and legumes, right? Which is vegan diet would mean that you eat all the proteins and legumes, and I had a lot of sensitivity to them. So that's why the vegan gluten-free diet didn't work for me. So it was only when I did AIP, or the elimination diet, which eliminates all inflammatory food categories. It eliminates, all grains, not just gluten, but all grains, all legumes, also nightshades. Nightshades are, plants that include potato, tomato, bell peppers, as well as chili peppers, and the spices, chili pepper and eggplant. So sometimes people are eating a healthy, for example, you could be doing Whole30, but if you're eating all these nightshade plants, and if you are sensitive to those foods, then you will still have inflammation in your body, right? So that is the reason when doing AIP, you avoid the nightshades as well. You avoid dairy, you avoid eggs, and you avoid nuts as well. And then you also avoid processed oils and refined sugars, etc. So that is how, as well as soy and corn, everything, anything that is potentially inflammatory. That's the reason doing an elimination diet like AIP can really help you in two ways, right? It can help you definitely bring that inflammation down because you are avoiding all inflammatory foods and eating a lot of healthy foods. That's the other part about AIP. AIP is not just about avoiding, it's also about adding a lot of nutrient-dense foods. So once you do that, you will definitely see results. That's why I like to say that AIP is science-based, it is foolproof, because you are covering your bases there. It's not like you're just avoiding one category of food, and if you're inflammatory to another category, then you will still have inflammation in your body. So by doing AIP, you're avoiding all these inflammatory foods, and so your body has no reason to continue to be inflamed, and you will slowly begin to feel better. So that's how, doing an AIP diet can actually help you reduce inflammation. And then secondly, it will help you uncover food sensitivities. So part of that whole AIP process is to avoid everything completely, wait until you see improvements, and then slowly add foods back, one food at a time. That is the reintroduction process. And that is where you can uncover your food sensitivities and understand which foods you react to. That way, you can be smart about which foods you eat and which foods you avoid and which foods you can cheat on, which foods you can eat occasionally where you may be tolerant somewhat, but certain foods might be totally off limits, right? So that's that whole process of AIP. So that's my pitch about AIP, because it is science-based and that is what works 100%. And that is what I coach people in my program, Rheumatoid Strong and Rheumatoid Strong Plus, that I just launched. That's about diet, right? So then the second thing about diet is what that people ask is like, can it help me to stay off medications? Now, again, the answer to this is not a straightforward yes or no, because it depends on the person, depends on to what degree they have, RA, how severe their RA is, whether they have mild early disease or whether they have been suffering for many years and they are highly inflamed, right? So if they have mild and early disease, then it is possible that just by doing elimination diet, their symptoms can be controlled, and excuse me, they might be able to stay off of medications either for either they may be able to delay that using medications for a while, or they might be able to completely stay off of medications. That is possible. I've had clients, who are able to do that. However, majority of the clients are somewhere where the diet definitely helps them. Before they did the diet, they were taking a bunch of medications, not just the disease modifying RA medications, but they were also on steroids. They were doing painkillers literally every day. That was me. I was taking a painkiller every day, 2 or 3 times, despite being on medication. So those are the medications that definitely you will be able to go off of when you add diet and lifestyle changes into the mix. Because it helps you to further reduce the inflammation. These dietary and lifestyle changes work synergistically with medication, and you will definitely be able to avoid steroids and go off of them, as well as reduce or completely avoid the use of painkiller medications. Some people are able to even lower their dose of RA medication. I was able to do that. I was able to, lower the dose of my medications from where I started first when I had not started the diet. I was able to reduce my medication dose, and I was able to stay off of the biologicals. Knock on wood, till date, I have been able to stay off of biologicals, which 6 years ago, my doctor wanted me to. My rheumatologist had told me that he doesn't think that the oral medications are going to help me and that I need to be on the biological. He had actually told me, like he had said that the orals are not going to do it for me. And that is when I started the diet and was able to not only, reduce my inflammation, but also able to lower all my medications, like the steroids, the painkiller medications, as well as the dose of the RA medications. So that is the scenario that I just explained. That is a scenario that many of my clients whom I have coached go through. And most of them are able to really improve their quality of life drastically, as well as reduce their prescription medications for a lot of the medications. And finally, not finally, there's the two more things I want to say. The third one is about side effects. The diet can also help you, eating a healthy diet can also help you counter the side effects of many of the medications, like the RA medications or the disease-modifying anti-rheumatic drugs that you use. They come with side effects because they are powerful immunosuppressants. And one of the main side effects are like you feel really fatigued and weak. And that is something that can be overcome by eating a healthy, nutrient-dense diet. So, that really, I think methotrexate is, for example, one drug that can really cause a lot of fatigue. It can also cause brain fog and hair fall, etc. And all those side effects can be overcome by eating a healthy, nutrient-dense diet. And then finally, doing all these things not only helps your RA, right, the course of your RA, but it also actually helps your life overall. You are able to lead a much better quality of life overall. So for example, ever since I have been doing this diet for 7 years now, And I have had many people or many of my family and close friends tell me that now I look actually much younger and much more healthier than I was 10 years ago. And guys, I just turned 50. So at 50, I really feel that I am much more healthier and younger than I was in my 40s. So that's your plus. Doing the diet has numerous advantages. Not only helps your RA, but overall helps you lead a healthier life. So I hope this video was helpful to you. I will post another video where I talk about my newly launched program, so do watch that as well. All right, take care. Bye.